This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Kane is in the building.
Yeah! Already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they will see the sun up? Just remember when it comes up.
Talking Heads with Naughty and MJ is brought to you by Battery and Tire Specialists, Burger King, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, KFC, Lowe's Wholesale, the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources, Naughty Johnny's, Percy's Island Games, Prince Masters, the Progressive Liberal Party, Thompson Trading, and Tropical Gyros.
They treat you like a slave, put chains all on your soul and put whips up on your back. They be lying through their teeth, hope you slip up off your path. I don't switch up, I just laugh, put my kicks up on they desk, unaffected by they threats. Then get busy on they see, that's how that shut down, that's how my daddy raised me. That glittering may not be gold, don't let nobody play me. If you are my homeboy, you never have to pay me. Go and put your hands up, when times is hard you stand up. LUP the man, cause a brand that the fans they ban us, they'll never slow my plans up. Already the show goes on all night, till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they will see the sun up?
We're back at you on the Tuesday, April 7th edition of Talking Heads. Naughty and MJ and your company right up until 6 p.m. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope you had a great holiday weekend. Hope you enjoyed your Easter. Hope all your baskets was full. You found plenty of eggs. You had a good time. Had plenty of fish and hot cross bun and all that good stuff. But you know, like I always tell you, all work and no play makes you a dull person. All play and no work makes you broke. Find a happy medium. Well, you find a happy medium over the holiday weekend, now you're back to work. Reality is set in, back to work, another day, another dollar, holla.
A long holiday weekend. It was good. Restful. Hopefully people got a chance to spend Easter the way they wanted to. Whoever traveled, spent time with the family, went to church, had your, hot cross buns and fish and all that good stuff. The little eggs and stuff. Hope you enjoyed yourselves.
Hope you had a good Easter, like you said.
Yeah,
you know?
little R&R.
And remember the reason for the season, obviously.
Of course.
And I like to shout out Selector Zoe, who put Collide Fed together, man. Not only did you have a great event, man, shouts to you, man. You packed a bunch of people in, but you provided some of the best entertainment in between, like now and WrestleMania. There's only a
what did I miss?
The most fights in the world. Mr. Producer, you see all them video yesterday?
What?
Was that not some WWE type ish right there? Lone bottles, I mean.
So there was a fight at an event?
Hey, and to the red dude in the red and white shirt who got monkey stomped by the 12 dudes, way to take it for Light Skin Nation. Yeah, you got monkey stomped, but you tough. You stood up, you took it, and you bounced it off. You shook it off. And I respect that. There's still hope for Light Skin Nation.
That's how we're carrying on the Easter holiday weekend.
Man, and I ain't saying that.
No bueno.
I give him his credit. He promoted it for the longest. Did his due diligence. Deserved to have the people there. Did some great giveaways.
What day did this happen?
Yesterday or Sunday. Was it yesterday or Sunday? Sunday.
Easter Sunday?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And at the end of the day, it still boils down to that age-old, I don't know what this yuck up in us as Bahamians, but we got to carry on bad. Just all of a sudden, just carry on bad.
That's literally why I don't
you
party.
You done had 6 Guinness. You don't need 7.
That's why I don't party on Easter Sunday. It just feels crazy when you get out to these events and then people carry on like they don't have any good sense at all.
And that Mars good events and that Mars, promoters that put time and effort into to make an event happen. But at the end of the day, the videos that did slip out, they were very entertaining. They're some of the best ones I've seen in a while.
Was this like a beach party or something?
Yeah.
Okay, because someone sent me something with some ladies. Well,
Well,
some women.
Women were fighting.
Some junglers fighting.
Men and women were fighting.
In bikinis, and I'm like, really?
Dudes was fighting, like 12 on 1, and then there's other skirmishes.
Don't let the bodies fool y'all. That's not our
And
That's not our deal.
shout out to that overweight officer from the Royal Bahamas Police Force who was throwing dudes up against the fence, and when they bounced off the fence, was bouncing them right back against the fence with your belly. Good job. You
So
did a good-
he was fit for the task.
Yeah, man. He
Oh,
was,
boy.
Lord bless the dead. He was in Big Drew mode. He was ready to go. I mean, it was, like I said, it was entertaining.
Yeah.
I was sitting there watching it going, Lord God, forgive me. I should not be laughing at this. But this is some good stuff right here.
We got to do better, though. Come on.
I think, especially after Friday night, SmackDown was a little anticlimactic. That kind of filled the gap. But yeah, and like I said, typical Bahamian, we just had to carry on bad. But, maybe moving forward, we'll do a little less carrying on bad.
Yeah, y'all do that on a
And
Monday.
Maybe the Monday would work better.
How you carrying on Easter Sunday?
I think they were motivated by Trump's foolishness over the weekend. Boy, I tell you, if open mouth insert foot were a person, it'll be our Presidente.
But there were lots of other events over the Easter holiday weekend. I see everybody throwing a little Easter party or two. I'm mad at our friend, supposed to be our friend, Rick Fox, because he had an event out there in, I guess, Garden Hills. And he had one of my favorite actresses out there, didn't even call and say, hey, all you Sex in the City and Just Like That fans, Nicole Ari Parker's going to be out on the park. Didn't call us up. So, yeah, I'm mad with him. One of my most favorite actresses. She's so talented.
I told him, he said that it will never happen again.
Okay.
More to come, and he'll make sure to give you a buzz.
We shall see.
But he is busy campaigning in Garden Hills and the people, so
Great
on and so
actress.
forth. It looked like he had a great turnout as well.
Many of the events look like they were well attended, so I'm happy for
And
that.
some had crickets too, let's be honest.
I didn't see the ones with which ones had crickets. Don't call no names. Don't call no names.
But I could call names, I don't mind.
Some had crickets. You gotta call all the names of the crickets, though.
Well,
It wasn't just one or two. It wasn't just one party. It was like a couple of parties that had crickets, right?
I think...
It's a thought that counts.
Okay. I'll put it to you like this, since you want me to speak this way.
It's a thought that counts.
I saw a few red crickets. I saw a whole heap of black crickets. But it was them blue and yellow crickets that really got my attention.
It's a thought that counts, though. I mean,
Yeah,
shouts
it's a
out to
thought that
everybody
counts.
that tried to do something for their constituencies
But
over the
then,
Easter holiday for the
if I'm-
kids.
If I'm running for office and I already come in and I hear that my constituency is not behind me as much as they used to be, and I have an event and it's
You worried now.
tweenerish,
You worried.
and then I have an event and it gets rained out, and I reschedule it and it gets rained out again, that is an act of God.
You think the
God
Lord?
is
You
not
think the
telling
Lord
me-
is trying to say something?
Yes.
Rain's supposed to be
So
blessings.
don't make this race a marathon. Make it a sprint. If God is showing you those signs,
I don't know.
just tap out. Don't even bother.
Rain's supposed to be blessings, but anyway, shout out to everybody that tried.
And for those of you who picked up on that, thank you for being readers.
Mm.
Let's go to the phone lines real quick. Talking heads.
A pleasant good afternoon, Mr. Naughty and Mrs. MJ.
Hey,
Good
what's
afternoon.
happening, Sparky?
Boy, let me tell you something. We had a beautiful weekend in Pride State.
Okay.
A Mr. and Mrs. Mills, my neighbor right behind me, they threw an event in the park for the children
Good.
where she got over 100 Easter baskets. They had Easter egg
Wow.
hunt. And she invited both Mario Boldag and Mr. Rick Fox to the event.
Okay.
Mario Boldag never showed his face.
Oh.
But Rick Fox and his entourage, his brother from Germany, two beautiful ladies, maybe their guests, showed up, and Rick Fox brought 10 bicycles for the children, and they had little raffles. Only the little children won the bicycles.
Oh, that's so cool.
And people was all over the place. They pulled up there. Rick Fox pulled up in this car, and a big, long black limousine brought his brother and the two ladies. And the people in Pride Estates was all over the place taking pictures. Rick Fox was walking around. Basically, he was just hanging out with the kids. They was having a ball with him.
Oh, that's good. That sounds like that was Nicole Ari Parker, one of the ladies he brought with him is a very famous actress. So that is
two ladies came.
good
And-
stuff.
But I'd like to say shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Mims, who lives in Pride Estate. We always get together and do things for the elderly like myself. Sometimes I get caught up in it, and the children, and we invite people because Garden Hills is a constituency, and Pride Estate is part of Garden Hills. But they don't never mention Pride Estate. They always just say Garden Hills. You see what I'm saying?
Well, they know you can call every radio show every day, every minute saying Pride Estate, Sparky, so they know Pride Estate's covered.
1, 2, and 3.
Gotcha.
There you go. But good stuff, Sparky, man.
Covered.
Props to you and your
and
crew
shout
down
out
there,
to the
man.
Mins, who he said were the ones that threw that actual
party and that
party.
shindig.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. We're going to open up the lines today. We want you to chime in. We want to hear how your Easter weekend went. We want to know your take on the election process, registration. You know, we got news coming out of the parliamentary registration department. You got till tomorrow at the end of business in order to get everything done. So you're going to have to bear with. There are a lot of lines.
Oh, I've been hearing about these lines.
And I appreciate you all. Listen, don't let nobody dissuade you all. If you want to debate last minute, that's your right. If God is blowing breath in you to give you the moxie to jump up today to say, hey, I want to go vote and register, do it. Don't matter who you're going to vote for, do it. Register. The more Bahamians we get out to vote, the more Bahamians we get out to vote, the better.
Those lines are prohibitive, though.
And we need to know how the nation feels in 2026. And we need the most voters
And
out.
I want everyone to get registered who wants to get registered. And I hope that we have a very, very high voter turnout. But the time spent in those lines is prohibitive. I mean, to think that you have to spend 6 hours to get yourself or your kids, that is crazy. What happened to building capacity, parliamentary registration department? We talked about this last week and the week before that. I thought you guys were ready. You did the right thing by dropping the verification because in all fairness, we're supposed to be on a permanent register, right? So that part, I guess I'll have to wait till later. But with even removing that, you still have these very long lines that are turning people off. And I hate to see this I hate this for us because I thought we were 100% ready that even if we got a massive surge towards the end, we would be able to get through it in less time than 6 hours. I could take 1 or 2.
And
6 hours.
A lot of voter frustration because they're going down to get the information. They've been given like certain information here, certain information there. Kind of like dog chasing the tail scenario right now. We're not being effective as we can.
We have to do something. There's a little bit of time left. They did extend hours over the weekend. They were open yesterday until 8 p.m., I believe, and that's
some
a good
went
thing.
later.
Right, and that's a good thing, right? Like we appreciate
that portion of
but
it.
you got to try to get everybody in, and we have a very short window to do it.
And come the day of, we need to have all of this out of the way so there's no headache.
And we need clear rules, like if you're on the line,
right,
when that register is supposed to go, like what happened? So get your PR team out there, help us understand. Maybe
and then we had more fireworks today, Mr. Bain and the COI.
Oh, that's a different issue altogether. I hope that they elaborate more on what their issue is because I did see...
That was in relation to the ballot boxes, correct?
I did see some information about the COI having an issue with, I think, the storage or the access to the ballot boxes.
There are a lot of winds swirling around this election now that you're starting to see.
Y'all could call us up and tell us what the issue is that your leader was speaking about today. Or Mr. Bain, of course, he can call as well and tell us what the issue is that's happening down there at the parliamentary registration department that you're taking umbrage with, because I'm curious,
So if you want to be part of the conversation, you want to chime in, here's how.
Here's how you can become a talking head. Brought to you by BTC.
Text lines powered by BTC 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Phone lines open in New Providence 323-6232, 325-4259, 325-4316. Toll free to anyone in the Family Islands, 242-300-5720, 242-300-5720. Stream us live, take us wherever you want to go, GuardianTalkRadio.com. That's GuardianTalkRadio.com. Cable channel 969, BTC Flow channel 612. That's how you get it in. That's how you get it on for Fresh News Smart Talk all day, right here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Let's go back to the phone lines. Talking Heads. Talking Heads.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I went to register at Marathon Mall, and the guy walking around with some kind of book or something he has. He said to me, if you've registered before, you don't have to do it now. He said what to do is you on the day of on the day of voting, if you want to vote, he said you go bring your ID, like the passport or driver's license or even the NID. He said, but this line was going on at Marathon Mall, that ain't for me.
Okay. So you're registered already, correct? Did we lose
No, listen to what he's saying. He said to me, I don't have to register.
Wait.
On the day to vote.
No.
No. Hold on.
Because that doesn't make sense.
Let me ask you this question. Did you vote the last election? Are you on the existing register now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So if you are on the existing register, meaning you voted the last election, you do not have to register because it's a rolling ballot. You're not registered.
That's what he said.
Permanent register.
So he said, come up
Permanent register, sorry. And you're registered.
You didn't move. Did you move between elections? Are you still in the same constituency?
Well, that's what he asked me, and I told him no. I'm sorry, I'm still there. So he said good.
So you're good. You're good to go.
Show up with your old crinkly voter's card. Show up with your passport and your driver's license.
And you're good to go.
And you rub on the Bahamian accent, and you're good to go.
You should be straight.
No, but listen to me.
What?
Naughty, listen. You and MJ. Let me tell you something.
Hey.
I what you call it? In between and betwixt, like the old people that say.
I gotcha.
I'm motivated to vote at all this
time.
Because, I'll tell you why. Let me tell you why. It's because, here it is, I applied for Crown land in 2004.
Ooh.
Bring it up to date.
Yikes.
From 3 years ago and to the present, and do you know I still don't have a piece of Crown land?
Wow.
Nothing. My MP told me he's not a sitting minister, so he cannot help me. And I was hearing me, just who I am. So I don't have to call no name, right? But that is what he told I.
Wow.
You think I want to vote for anybody like him?
I know you're upset about it. What were you going to do with the crown? What are you going to do when you get the crown land? Farming. Wow.
Listen, livestock and we need to grow our own vegetables
we
and stuff.
Need people like you.
Guess what?
Yeah.
And it's fun doing it. It's therapeutic.
Yes.
And guess what? You could just... You talk to your plants and your little piglets and your goats and stuff. That feels so good.
Let me ask you a question.
Oh, please don't give up. I need you to get that crown land for farming. I need that.
I already applied so many times. They've seen me one time. Every time I go to Lands and Survey, the girl will say, "You again?
Oh wow!
I ain't fix you up, man.
But Paula,
let me do this to you."
I want you to think about something. All right?
Go ahead.
Yeah, you've been trying for Crown land for 2004, but we need every Bahamian on deck. And we need every Bahamian to vote. You know why?
Why?
Because you don't want people from elsewhere getting that crown land before Bahamians. And you know.
But if I didn't vote all them times, you would tell me dying.
Hold on. You know
I didn't vote all them times.
If it go a certain way this go round, those entities are going to need to be rewarded in the future with jobs and potentially crown land, and Bahamians should be displaced. So you got to look displaced. So you got to look at the big picture. That's all I'm saying, because all that's in this thing together. And I want you to get your crown land, and I want you to have your goats and your piglets and your chickens and all of that.
I need that because that's therapeutic for me, and guess what? It's going to help feed me and my family.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say to you, Naughty, you deserve crown land. MJ deserves crown land. Everybody. Why aren't the MPs giving us it? Do you know that each Bahamian can get up to 5 acres of land and still plenty land to be left over? I'm talking about the Bahamian, like me who is 1,000,000% Bahamian. We could get up to 5 acres, me and all my children and my grandchildren, and land still could be here. How come the MPs ain't pushing for you to get that? Why they don't teach farming? Why they don't let us?
I hope you hit them with that when they come knocking on your door. When they knock on your door, I want you to hit them with that right there. Blast them with that right there.
He ain't coming to me because he is a ninja. He ain't coming to me because he is a ninja.
All right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Well, I got other callers who's ninjas too, so I got to get to them.
Don't give up, okay? Don't give up.
And go out and exercise your right to vote, man. You got to rock the vote 242. You got to get out there and vote.
Land. She's planning to farm.
Great idea.
We need more Bahamian farmers.
Right, and then it reminds me, again, where it ties back to, I'm hoping that and just came to mind that the yachting sector gets back on, because you had young Bahamians investing in laundromats and so on and so forth.
Yeah, they made some adjustments with the
Bahamians
fees.
are trying. And they're trying to be entrepreneurs, and that's good stuff.
They quietly adjusted those fees again, but anyway.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's go to the other calls. Talking Heads.
Hey, pleasant good evening, Naughty. How you doing?
I'm good.
Evening to you and MJ.
Hi.
I have a question now. My mind is telling me, if I'm correct, that on the day that the House is dissolved, persons registered on that date would not be able to vote. If I'm
okay,
for some
so this
reason that lingering in my mind.
Yeah, that's something that we often understood it to be, that on the day, but this is what the Prime Minister has said. The Prime Minister... I'm just going to tell you what the Prime Minister has said. He says that when the House is dissolved, which is going to happen tomorrow, he says that up until the end of tomorrow, up until midnight tomorrow, you will be able to register to vote. Now, this is what our Prime Minister has said to us. I kind of sort of understood it the way that you do as well, which is like on that day, the register is closed. But he is saying to us until the end of that day. So apparently tomorrow you'll still be able, according to the PM, to go down and register to vote once it's before the day ends.
But if the Prime, I think he goes according to the law. What does the law say? What the Prime Minister said.
Well, the Prime Minister also
the
Prime Minister also happens to be a KC. I do not believe, and I'll just be honest with you, I do not believe that the Prime Minister would give us, right before an election, bad information concerning how long we'll be able to register to vote. So I have every confidence that tomorrow persons will still be able to register to vote. And if that is not the case, I know that the Office of the Prime Minister is listening. Please let that be known today, because tomorrow persons will expect that once you, even though you say you're going to dissolve tomorrow, persons will expect that they still will be able to register by midnight. But I do have confidence in the Prime Minister as a KC that he won't feed us bad information right before an election.
Can we have someone research?
Sure, we'll call the Parliamentary Registration Department between the breaks.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, let's get to the other lines. Talking Heads.
Yeah, Noddy, how y'all doing?
What's good, man? How are you?
Yeah, the lady with the Crown land situation. Crown land don't give out farmland. You got to go to agriculture to apply for farmland. There's two different entities.
But did you hear her? Did you hear the caller say that she's been applying since 2004? Do you think that between 2004 and now they would have directed her to where she needs to go?
Darling, let me tell you something. That's just government wakers. They'll have you up and down.
Man,
they can tell you different, you know. They know what they're doing. They know what they can tell you different, you know. But on the other hand, when they talk about the registration thing, right? Behemoth too like wait for last minute. They should have closed off on the first of the year.
No,
we too like wait on last minute for everything, man.
The election wasn't going to be due until October the latest. Why would they close it?
But we had enough time to register a long time.
Nah,
but it wasn't be an issue.
It wasn't enough time, no, because the line's still long.
You can't preach that to me.
Hey,
it should be long last minute.
Just because you straight, you can't get mad at everybody else who ain't straight, man. Come on.
we do like we're on last minute, man.
That's why Bahamian time is a thing.
I'll tell you, me and MJ made a good living off some great comedy shows with Bahamian time saving us at the end of the day.
Bahamian time, man.
Bahamian time shows 9:30, Bahamian show up 9:28.
We know who we are.
You need to hold the show 500 in the lobby. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, man.
Have a good one.
All right, man. Be safe, bro. But you remember them days?
Oh, yeah.
9:28 showtime, 9:30.
Line still out the door.
You're going to need to hold it. We got 500 in the lobby.
We feel bad because we have people who get to the show on time.
Correct.
But then the line is like 300 people on the line.
And listen, I do get the fact that those folks, such as yourself, who will say, okay, look, let's be proactive rather than reactive, avoid the line. I know we can bite the bullet today, it's boring. Let's go grab a coffee, let's get registered, no line. 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Yeah, impatient do it like me who don't like, oh my God, 45 minutes. But now I look back in retrospect.
6 hours?
I say, thank you, Jesus. I kiss your feet. I kiss the toes on your feet because you know why?
6 hours? That is hard.
I would have committed Harry Carey in that line.
It's hard to do 6 hours.
6 hours is crazy.
It shouldn't be that way.
And again, props to all the workers who are making it happen and everybody who's going. But at the end of the day, you do not want to discourage people from having their right to vote. And if it's the last minute and they feel like they're impassioned to do it, then you can't deny that. You have to allow the whole nation to speak. Because I remember as a very young boy, I remember Mr. Pillin saying, or Sir Lyndon, my apologies, that the voice of the people is the voice of God.
And I do believe that the Parliamentary Registration Department did kind of flub a little bit because remember when we got our son registered, he did the whole process to get the biometric card, right? Because they're saying first time a registrant that's necessary. Now those cards aren't even ready. Like how much time did we waste going on the road? You guys
when you hit the barber shop and you hit the corner bar or you hit the gas station, you start hearing, well, you think that's a different play now because they were supposed to be ready, but now they ain't ready. So now it makes people, this whole And I try not to get down too many rabbit holes, but Bahamians have very valid questions, and with the internet the way it is, and social media, and the way they watch things, and they got a little CSI to them.
And let's be honest, 200,000 on the register and growing. They better be ready on election day. Let's get to the phone lines. Talking Heads.
Hey, say Naughty, RJ.
Hi.
Hey, what's happening?
Hey, Naughty, they need that. What they need to do is, if she want land, they need to go back. She need to protest to take them land for the crown land where they have the people they end up sleeping on every night. Who build houses on? You understand what I'm saying?
You mean the one squatting it?
The one who they give land to go off when they get in the farm and end up building houses thing on it.
Stop it.
What they need to do, take some of them back. The next thing, do Naughty, we get a lot of Bahamian people, the young folks. They ain't even interested in voting. I don't know what happened in this. I don't know what happened in the school. But I mean, something got to be. And then you have to blame some of the parents. Them, they see the parents them want him, but they self. They want him to get the little government job, the little school cleaning contract, and all. They ain't want him, but they kids them trying to teach them to listen to good. When I get a little old, I can try to fix this country. So in case you might have to can take care of me, you don't got to put me in the old folks' home.
Right.
But see, they ain't thinking about that, Naughty. See, that's why I don't feel bad. The foreigners coming here and taking over, in a way, because the Bahamian people allowing it, they mind so
No, sir. No way, shape, or form. You got to allow that or feel good about that. And we agree on a lot of things, but
Right, but not
this our country, man, and this ours. This for Bahamians first. And one thing you could hold a little hope on. And at some point, you got to draw your line in the sand, pick your hill, and say, okay, this is where I have my battle. And if that's got to be what I got to stand for, my Bahamas, then I will, because it's supposed to be for Bahamians first. My sons, my grandchildren, so on and so forth. My nieces, my nephews, that would be Bahamians. This are things.
But thing with Naughty, the Bahamian people need to act like they want this country. You have to fight.
But that's what I was going to look at. If you look at the numbers and the increase in voters getting registered, I think more people are interested in coming out to vote this go around.
I hope so.
Naughty, the thing where I wait, Naughty, they're 50-50, man. 50-50 right now. Naughty is so bad right now in this country. And guess what? You know why a lot of people say they didn't want to vote? A lot of them is half Bahamian and half Asian. A lot of their parents them is real Asian, and they don't want. That's the people them who say it, and that's the people who I investigate on, and who I talk to. When I find out their background, they are 80% Asian, but they act like Bahamians now. You would never tell.
Well, there are some Haitian Bahamians, but yeah, we
understand, and good points. We got to get to the other calls. Good points, caller. And I understand there's a lot of Bahamian people who were born here in the Bahamas of Haitian parentage that have been waiting from 18 for a long period of time to get their paperwork done. And they have issues with folks arriving paperwork in hand.
Registering, the lines are long, the turnout was low. I hope that was a one-off in 2021. I'm hoping for a great turnout this time around. Let's go back to the phone lines. Talking Heads.
Yes, how you doing, MJ? How you doing?
Hey, Cialan.
Hey, what's going on, Cialan?
Let me answer about 3 of your questions before we move on to what I have to say. The Prime Minister...
Are you turning into Anton now? You believe you're Anton?
No, I
answer 3 questions. Go ahead.
Let's go.
I've learned to listen. The Prime Minister is tomorrow. Mm-hmm. The Prime Minister will instruct the Governor General to dissolve Parliament on
the following day. Okay, good stuff. All right.
So that's why they will be able to register up until 11:59.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
The Crown Land. First of all, let me say the Crown Land. There's 2. You could apply for agricultural Crown Land, and you could apply for Crown Land. Period. So that's 2 different application process. Mm-hmm. So the Crown land that you apply for agricultural could be lease, purchase, whatever else, and generally the Crown land that you apply from the government is purchase or grant, or just come back as a foreign investor and it's free. So the problem we have now with this concept of people believing that we all have a right to Crown land. We have 3.5 million acres of land in the Bahamas, for which like 2.5 million is Crown land. Out of that Crown land, less than $1 million of 1 million acres of it is habitable. This counts swamps, it counts salt marsh, it counts everything about the land that is there. So this concept that we have this unlimited amount of Crown land is a fallacy. And so when you first give out the Crown land and distribute it, so essentially within 20 years you'll have no Crown land, and so then essentially the government itself does something. What we need is what has been proposed from May of last year, is a land banking type environment that Mr. Pintack proposed, which is like Singapore and the rest of them, that it remains in trust of 80%, 70%, whatever amount of land remain in trust of Bahamians for eternity.
Gotcha. Gotcha. No, go ahead. Go.
And your next point, see, Alan, because we got the lines loaded.
Right. The next point is that the Prime Minister, and you guys talk about this biometrics thing. The biometrics exercise was a marketing exercise. In 2022, the Prime Minister borrowed $10, $20, $30 million to create a digital ID to the newspapers and a biometric thing. This money has been gotten. The report is now due to.
Yeah, I gotcha. I see where you're going with this.
What they did, they did an exercise to say they're doing something.
I gotcha.
Just to make the report to the IDB or whatever.
Yeah, because we got the money. So now, yeah.
Right, but just let me say this. Just think about this. Every day for the 20 plus years I've been home, we say behemoths late for everything. And I'm going to write a letter on this because this is a cultural thing that didn't come just now. It actually came during slavery time, and with the name being not late, but on Behemoth time. But here's the point. You know what we do culturally, and yet you were not prepared. So knowing what is done
Agreed.
culturally,
yeah,
you should have been
Yeah, they should have been ready for the
being able to accommodate it. So that's no excuse
The
for,
rush.
oh, y'all are late.
The rush to the
this
end.
is what being aware.
That's how we go. That's a
that's
Bahamian
Bahamian thing, Bahamian time. We got you, see, Alan.
Good stuff, man. Let's get to these other calls. Talking Heads.
Hey, caller.
Talking Heads. All right, we'll get to the break.
The
Flip side of the
producer said
break.
break time, yeah.
You call us, hold tight. We'll get to you on the flip side of the break. Text us. All of y'all. We will get to you all on the flip side of the break. Listen here. You ain't got to tell MJ and myself that y'all missed us. We missed y'all over the Easter holiday weekend, too. All the phone lines lit. Text lines blowing up. We got you covered.
A lot of text.
All our talking heads out there. Just hang tight. Quick commercial break.
We'll be right back.
One in the air for the people ain't here. Two in the air for the father that's there. Three in the air for the kids in the ghetto. Four for the kids that don't want to be there. None for the trying to hold him back. Five in the air for the teacher not scared. 10 in the ghetto that holding back that the world is
KFC got that crispy onions crunch. Take a bite, it's a smile. Sweet onion sauce drip, happy running down my side. Pepper jack cheese, bring a little playful wow. Burrito bun soft like a cloud on this ride. KFC, get chicky with it. Hey. Taste the sweet side of things. Every single bite, so lit it. Got my whole crew doing that thing. Crispy onion, sweet onion sauce. Pepper jack cheese going on.
Introducing the new Sweet Chicky Chicken Sandwich at KFC.
Let's get chicky with it.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
With Lysol, you can disinfect all surfaces inside and outside your home. When used as directed, Lysol eliminates 99.9% of bacteria, fungus, and viruses. Maintain a healthy home by preventing sickness and keeping infections under control. Don't just clean your surfaces, disinfect them. Lysol does more for you and your family. That's our mission for health. Distributed by Thompson Trading Company.
Refined style with elegant taste, then fine threads is your place. If you want those slacks hemmed or just taking the waist, then fine threads is your place. If you wanna look suave and debonair everywhere you go, like you're supposed to be in a video, wanna step out and look great, then fine threads is your place. Refined style with elegant taste, then fine threads is your place, is your place, is your place.
Craving something bold, fresh, and unforgettable? Tropical Gyros is your flavor-packed escape, a Carib-Greek fusion born right here in Nassau. From juicy grilled salmon, chicken, and pork gyros to loaded bowls, fresh salads, wings, and more. There's something for every craving. Find Tropical Gyros at any of their locations, JFK Plaza, Rosetta Street, Port Lucaya Freeport, or their franchise spots on Prince Charles Drive, Soldier Road West, Delaport, and Carmichael Road. Tropical Gyros, not just good food, it's an experience.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
It's time for the buzz. What are you buzzing on? Brought to you by John's Shoes.
Kane is in the building.
Yeah!
so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun up? Just remember when you come up, the show goes on. Alright, already the show goes on. Night till the morning, we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun up? Just remember when you come up, the show goes on. Have you ever had the feeling that you was being had? Don't that shit that make you mad? They treat you like a slave, put chains all on your soul and put whips up on your back. They be lying through their teeth, hope you slip up off your path. I don't switch up, I just laugh, put my kicks up on they desk, unaffected by they threats, then get busy on they.
We're back at you on the Tuesday, April 7th edition of Talking Heads, Naughty and MJ and your company right up until 6 p.m. Open line edition. Yes, we will go over a little bit into the 5 o'clock hour, but yes, we will talk sports. We got NFL to talk.
We got
NBA.
Shouts out.
Carifta. And we got Major League Baseball as well, too.
Yeah, a lot. All right. So let's get to the
these two out
phone
of the
lines
way?
because we've
All right.
had callers waiting.
Let's go to the phone lines. Talking Heads.
Hello.
Hey, good
Hi.
afternoon.
Good afternoon, you. The previous caller, not the PLN individual, the previous one. I feel like individuals, they're not interested in voting anymore because, you know, I'm a registered voter.
Mm-hmm.
I just registered to get the biometric thing on.
Okay.
You know, I listen to the talk shows a lot, and how I hear C. Allen, it makes me not interested to be a person who wishes to vote.
Well, how would C. Allen's opinion make you not interested
I
in
mean,
wanting to vote?
in all fairness, callers, I mean, people would say that you know, hearing Anton and a couple others would make people not want to vote either. I mean, let's be real. Every party has their, for lack of a better word, talking heads who are going to jump up on the soapbox for their party who they ride
supporters.
for. And they're gonna, you know, try to lobby on behalf
what
of their party.
what issues are important to you outside of what everyone else has to say?
Which
What's important to
constituency
you?
are you in, and what are the issues there?
I, like the previous caller mentioned about the crown land for Bahamians. I'm interested in stuff like that. I'm
Okay.
interested in seeing the country flourish.
Yeah.
And when I hear one particular side, they lean a particular way and they feel blind to the same things. And I listen and talk to them a lot. I love you guys talking about. But, you know, I am a registered voter. I haven't voted in the last election. I made sure I went to get the biometric, and I thought people wouldn't vote this election. And the people I encouraging to register to vote, I encourage to vote 8 people to register to vote this term. And I say, thank God, the Prime Minister called it. Thank God you're racist. Because I want you to believe in your country. And you have to do it. But then, and when they register to vote, and they hand people on the work field, and they hand F&Ms and hand loyal PLCs, and they're not interested.
Okay, so let me ask you this, caller. You're thinking about voting, you're registered, but you're not sure. I want you to just imagine what issues are important to you. And then just block out all of the noise. This is the political season. You will have persons that are trying to get your vote, that'll put their ideas out there, but you maybe have to have some introspection. Think about the things that are important to you in this country, and then focus on finding out about those issues and which party will best serve your vision for those issues. You know what I mean?
I agree with you mentioning which party. It can't be an independent.
It could be an independent as well. Which person, which representative will best serve you? Because that's what they are. They're a representative. So that's what you're searching for, okay? Please don't be discouraged. Get out there and vote. Let's go to the phone lines. The lines are lit. Talking Heads. Hey, caller, Talking Heads.
Hey, I am Jay. Good
Hey.
afternoon.
Hey, Jeff.
What's going on, Jeff?
How's Naughty?
Right here, man. What's going on, Jeff?
Boy, radio. Yes, I too want to echo your sentiments, MJ, encouraging the previous caller to go there and vote. Your vote, even though a lot of persons are disillusioned into thinking that their vote would not count, your vote does count.
Yeah.
I want you to reflect on the understanding that there are others around the world in their country that wish to have the democratic freedom of voting that
Absolutely.
we have, and they are denied that right.
Absolutely.
I want you to look at the numerous of issues, and trust me, the Bahamas is filled with issues. Choose the top 3 or top 5 that you're really pleased with or disgusted with.
Right.
Make your determination which party or which candidate in particular espouses the thought processes that you have and cast your vote.
Yeah.
I believe not to participate it would be a mistake, and let your voice through your vote be heard.
Excellent.
So I encourage you to go ahead and cast your vote. My final thought here, Naughty and MJ, I believe that the Bahamas right now is at a very tipping or pivotal point in the history of this country where this electoral season really will determine whether we are going to go backward in time or whether we are going to progress forward in time. And it's so sad that, you're hearing the words progress and progression used so blatantly in this electoral season, but yet we do not really feel it. We do not really see it as Bahamians, but yet those words are being used interchangeably. We have to fix this country. The Bahamas is a first world country with third world thinkers. I think now we need to find the first world thinkers to go along with this first world country, to move this country forward, upward, and onward as the original crafters of our Constitution and the original fathers and mothers of the nation imagined this country could have been. Taking my call, I'll continue to
Thank
listen.
you
God bless.
so much, Jeff. Forward, upward, onward, together. All right, let's get to some of these texts in a minute. We're about to be overrun with the
Boy, I
texts.
tell ya.
Lot.
All
We
right,
got
let me
your
jump
texts.
on
We
it.
got talking head texters.
All right, here we go. To the Bahamian people who don't want to vote, the naturalized neighbors from the South will vote in their place and take our country. How embarrassing for the chairwoman of the COI ranting and raving about the commissioner of police and doesn't even know her name. Clown of a party.
Doesn't know the cop's name?
Naughty and MJ, Donnelly Penn Mackey is when will she be a guest on your show? If I lived in her constituency, I would vote for her.
Oh, we have a lot of guests lined up, so hopefully maybe Miss Penn is on the list. We're not sure yet.
Hi, Naughty and MJ. Will the House meet tomorrow or will the PM just dissolve the House without
No,
them?
there's no more meeting of the House. The House is prorogued, so they're done technically, and tomorrow they will be done officially. No more MPs. That's pretty much what it is right now, though.
Naughty, I still hear some people talking about riding a wave with Brave. The reason he was riding a wave is because the SSPLP must have struck a reef and got shipwrecked. Go figure. Hey, Naughty and MJ, so the PRP government has a problem with giving single mothers $200 a month, but have no problems giving Shane Gibson $2.5 million.
Oh, boy.
Frank
Oh,
Smith and
boy.
Ken Dorsett millions.
Can I-
Giving Sabas millions in rent every month, millions on traveling expenses, etc. Valid points.
My thing is, we do have some F&M candidates lined up, right? Because the next one that we get in here, we will get clarification on that policy that they put out. I understand it to be parents, correct? That is the policy. Parents of newborns. I don't know, what prerequisites they're going to be around that policy. I've heard some talk on both sides, and I think that clarification on it will help people understand. It's not the dollar amount that that I have an issue with. I don't at all. I think from what I've seen, it'll come to about $12 million a year. And that is certainly a sustainable amount. That is a sustainable amount, particularly since it's the first 2 years of a newborn's life. I think that it's actually a good idea. What I don't quite understand, which I will seek clarification on. First one of them that we get in here is the line, the means testing. I would need them to be more explicit about that. And then whether this applies to married and unmarried, because I don't know whether drawing that particular line is a line that needs to be drawn. I think that if you're going to offer something to new parents and it's and your means testing, I think that it should apply whether you're single or you're married, because you could be married and also be struggling financially. Just because it's two people doesn't mean that you're not struggling financially. And so I don't think that particular line, if they are going to insist on that, is necessarily, in my opinion, the right move. I would not I would not endorse drawing the line at whether or not you're single or married. But I think that the overall goal of the program is actually admirable. I think that it works for all young parents. And I think that it's certainly sustainable based on the numbers that we have so far. So I don't get what the big fuss is about, but I would understand if people were upset if it were just limited to single parents. I don't think it's single mothers. I think they're saying, the primary caregivers. So that should be whether you're single or you're married. But we'll get the first one of them that we get in here that's able to answer that question. I'm sure that we will pose that question to them.
Naughty and MJ, the lady is the prime example of why the Bahamas is a mess. Still planning on voting FNM or PRP. The COI has a plan up to... Anyway.
But why it's a mess? Because which lady are they talking about?
First and foremost, that COI plan I've seen from 2020, Vision 2020 by John Boswick. Yeah, I've seen remnants of that before. It's not an original document. I've seen some of that before, as I've seen plenty of the things that Mr. Bain has come up with, all right? Listen, I have no problem with the third party, but it needs to be a viable third option. And I think the COI would do better with their deputy leader being leader than Mr. Bain. I think they gain more traction with Dr. MacGyver rather than with Mr. Bain.
Let's just discuss that for just one quick second, because I hear what the COI is saying in terms of Crown land. Right now, I think we all would agree that if you have a Bahamian man or woman that wants Crown land for farming is something we desperately need. We need to have more Bahamian farmers, younger Bahamian farmers. We need to invest in farming in the Bahamas on the whole. I agree that taking 20 years to get a decision one way or the other, I find that to be. But then the policy that the COI has, general, everybody gets, Crown land, no matter what you're going to. I want you guys to really follow that through to its logical conclusion. What happens with the country? What happens with future generations if it's just willy-nilly, you get this amount of Crown land and you just sit on it, right? I want you to think about what most people would intend to do if they were given just Crown land to sit on. Probably they would sell it, and then we'd have some of the same unintended consequences that we've seen in this country for the past decades. But more importantly, I think this brings another point together about what that text is saying about the COI, which is that some of their ideas are actually very interesting, but you don't follow through. If you look at the editorial in the Tribune today, they went through painstakingly and talked about why this policy of just getting rid of naturalization is problematic. Number one, it would be against our Constitution. How do you start off putting a policy position out there that is going to be considered by many, just from even a pure political point of view, saying, I'm going to do this, and everybody knows that what it is you're saying you're going to do is unconstitutional? That's going to have some unintended consequences of its own, which is if you do away with naturalization, which our Constitution gives us many pathways for naturalization, you know where that ends up? Because it's not like you get in office, you say, okay, I'm making a national emergency out of this particular issue. I am now the competent authority, and this is what I say, and that goes, and it's unconstitutional. You know where that ends up? That ends up in the courts. And you know what happens when that ends up in the courts? You get a situation where you now have judges, not parliament, that begin to define what constitutional rights mean in practice in terms of citizenship. And then once you go down that road, once you set precedent in that area, that's not something that you quickly undo. So when you bring these policy initiatives forward, even though you may have great intentions, like talking about expanding, patrol and making some, kind of making every individual institution talk to the other one, like I think they're proposing putting immigration and national security together. That's not necessarily a bad idea, right? Because we've had some issues in that. But if you don't think it all the way through and you throw out these blanket statements, which is do away with naturalization, which to me would be unconstitutional, then you leave yourself open to people saying that you come with half-baked ideas. Some of it may actually be good for the country, but you don't have follow-through. And then when you say things like, oh, we'll figure it out. Well, there's no figuring it out when you're already the government of the Bahamas. We need to put people in there who actually know what they're doing and have fully developed policies.
Let's get to this call. Talking Heads.
Hey, how y'all doing?
What's happening?
Hi, caller.
Good, man, good. Let me ask you a question. Any party that would alienate a third of the population, right? based on rhetoric some of the rhetoric that you just mentioned. I'm wondering if, any party is aware of how powerful the Haitian Bahamian vote is. And that's a third of the population of the Bahamas. I feel any party that basically is not attempting in some form or fashion to welcome in the Bahamian...
Caller, let me just put a pin into that 1 second. I don't have an issue with Bahamians who were born here of Haitian parentage.
I understand that. We're not disagreeing with
And
you.
they deserve to have their paperwork, they deserve to have their day, and they deserve to have their vote.
Right, we agree with you.
I have an issue with the Johnny-come-latelys that roll off the plane with voters' card in hand that could compromise our voting process. That's what I got an issue with.
Yeah, me and you on the same path, but we got to be very careful in this season that we don't alienate a third of the Bahamian population who are legal.
I think you're referring to the COI. In all fairness, I don't know who you're referring to.
Well,
then
I'm really more, because we get the COI is prime chief of that, but then we got to be. I understand with the opposition and what they intend to do.
Sure.
But you still got to, I think you got to walk a little softly. Because that's a third.
Caller,
again,
just let me make this, but that's a third. What about the other 2/3 who are Bahamian that feel alienated by the catering to the 1/3 that you say we should be very careful of how we approach?
That is the problem.
Because that's a little bit galling too to us 2/3 over here that are Bahamian.
I hear you, my brother. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, caller. And I think that
like they used to say in Florida when I used to go to college. No me da esa bukkake, por favor, mi hermano. No me da eso. No me da esa basura.
I think that's a part of the problem, and some of our leaders aren't hearing it. Is like there is a catering to that people are perceiving, whether it's real or not. Perception will be reality. And when you say to us, cater to a certain demographic, and that demographic is not Bahamians, then you have yourself a problem as a party as well. You have a big problem, particularly if your surrogates are saying, be very careful not to. No, that's not the Bahamas that we want to live in. We want to live in the Bahamas where every Bahamian has their voice heard, and we don't have to cater to outsiders or build up a voting bloc simply because we want to win elections. All right, callers, we see you. Text us. I promise you we'll get through it. We do have to break to the news right now, though. You're listening to Talking Heads on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. We will be right back after the news.
One in the air for the people ain't here. Two in the air for the father that's there. Three in the air for the kids in the ghetto. Four for the kids that don't want to be there. None for the trying to hold them back. Five in the air for the teacher not scared to tell those kids that's living.
Hey, Nassau, get ready for the new and bold Barbecue Crispy King at Burger King. 2 100% flame grilled patties stacked with that irresistible onion crunch you love. Smoky barbecue sauce, crisp bacon, and melted cheddar, all on a buttery brioche bun. Crunch, bacon, cheese, flame grilled flavor. Swing by any of Burger King's 6 Nassau locations and taste the new Barbecue Crispy King today. Burger King Nassau, where taste is on fire.
This is definitely the time for BAMSI to continue to build on the progress that we've made. There's now drone technology. There's now year-round container farming. You have hydroponics. You have aquaponics. You have precision farming. There have been record numbers of enrollments, record numbers of flat fishing certifications. We've had record enrollments in our online courses. Students from across the family of islands. Because in BAMSI, we are not just cultivating produce. We're cultivating producers.
Paid for by PLP.
Play the games, we making dreams come true. Play with Island Games, we paying more out to you. Don't mind the noise in the market, you getting cash in your pocket. 'Cause Island Games is spicy, and spicy is tradition. So when you play Bahamians first, guaranteed to pay. Island Games, we like them mother jokers. We've been here from the start, from the bike to computer. Island Games, we gonna make your dreams come true. We playing with Island Games.
Did you know that Valvoline's Max Light not only protects against friction, but also leaks, deposits, and sludge? The 4 major causes of high mileage engine breakdown. Long live your car. Max Life is the first lubricant specially formulated to protect the engine of your high-mileage vehicle. Visit us today and see our full line of Valvoline lubricants, chemicals, and antifreeze coolants, distributed by Battery and Tire Specialists, located 7th Terrace, Centerville.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Kane is in the building.
Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they will see the sun up? Just remember when you come up, the show goes on.
Talking Heads with Naughty and MJ is brought to you by Battery and Tire Specialists, Burger King, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, KFC, Lowe's Wholesale, the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources, Naughty Johnny's, Percy's Island Games, Prince Masters, the Progressive Liberal Party, Thompson Trading, and Tropical Gyros.
Put chains all on your soul and put whips up on your back. They be lying through they teeth. Hope you slip up off your path. I don't switch up, I just laugh. Put my kicks up on they desk, unaffected by they threats. Then get busy on they. See, that's how that Chateau made me. That's how my daddy raised me. That glittering may not be gold.
We're back at you on the Tuesday, April 7th edition of Talking Heads. Naughty and MJ and your company right up until 6 p.m. Yes, we will talk sports in this hour. Let's get 52 on the line. He's been holding 52. What's good, man?
Yeah, well, it's a good thing. I'd be so busy, I even actually forgot I was holding on because I walk off and left the line. But it's a pleasure to hear from you and MJ.
And we hope you had a good Easter, man, you and the fam.
Yeah, they put the cross on the bun and call it fun, but I didn't have none. But anyhow, the thing is, it relates to politics, right? I think I loved one of the contributions from one of the young gentlemen I didn't call previously, right? But, Naughty, the schisms thereof with the demographics that you're talking about, right? I think the conversation that started initially on before the hour about the shanty towns, etc., and the disproportionate catering to the government of this particular demographic, and MJ alluded to, like, for political gain. And so the guy said, be careful. I mean, we shouldn't, obviously I agree with you as far as the ones that born yesterday have citizenship, but you could just use a little analysis there and just look at the amount of them who were not born, who we see in the papers want to be naturalized.
Right.
And I agree with MJ. Why can't you naturalize some of them? The question is accountability, freedom of information, and verifying the said numbers. But what is most disturbing for me as a senior man and a senior citizen, right, is the fact that the PM has openly courted and making social videos with this the big belly Beijing Beeman guy who blatantly disrespected Beeman people on social media.
Man, why you doing my boy Frankie like that, man? Frankie blurred
up. With him before, I know his face, but what I'm saying is...
Scare them crew DJs from that time.
He already said these narratives, MJ.
Right.
This is not good. I think he may apologize on Shanique Show, but that is not good because, hatred gets you nowhere. I mean, I wouldn't say hate us, but you could say you're smarter than us. Be this and that, like you ain't used to nothing. Come on, man. Let's live better than that.
That's not good.
Give thanks.
Good stuff, man. 52, always good there from you.
Is such a talented man when it comes to like poetry, You need
he
more
is the poet laureate of Talking Heads.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way, we are trying to get in contact with the Parliamentary Registration Department. We got put on hold for a moment there, so we're waiting for Mr. Thompson
let me get
to answer some questions for us. But we are trying, but I still think you're good until end of day tomorrow. So,
Naughty and MJ, if you think the Parliamentary Registration Department is in bad shape, you should check the Department of Inland Revenue. March 31st has passed, and many persons have still not gotten their license. The place is an absolute mess.
How the people collecting money running behind now? Come on now. Y'all want that tax dollar, right? Y'all, if any department needs to be on point, considering what the state of our economy is and the state of our finances, all the debt we have. Land revenue, you all got to be on point.
Naughty and MJ, the immigrants from everywhere are much smarter than we are. They see what we do not see. They know we will soon stop the flow of them coming in. They want to get in before the Bahamas government start giving them permanent citizenship. They work together while we fight and not support our own people.
The immigrants from everywhere are not smarter than Bahamians.
I agree. They're not.
Just to that part, I disagree with you, Texter, but
Okay.
the rest of it,
Here we go.
interesting.
Good afternoon, Naughty and MJ. The people who say they don't want to vote are young Haitians who pretended to be straight and can't vote but just angry. Naughty, we need to know who those new first-time old Haitians are who fighting to get on voters register. We need to shout their names loud. Nothing is working around town because the mayor of Lazy Town on every poster is held responsible. Check him out posing. I guess he can't impose this now instead of breakfast.
Yeah, I don't know what the Haitian Bahamian diaspora feels about voting, but we'll see.
Naughty and MJ, enough respect. The fact that our PM has openly took politically provocations photos with Frankie, the big Haitian Bahamian, simian-looking man that has only passed disparaging remarks and contemptuous statements to all Bahamians. Yet the PM openly friends this guy. The PM has no shame. These photos with Frankie is a clear message. Meanwhile, a female minister and other mindless, pathetic dupes celebrating in the background.
So it's called pandering, political pandering. And Bahamians take exception to that. You see it in other countries, bigger countries, where you have the data to break down exactly how every demographic or voting bloc may go. Over here, we seem to have an idea about the blocks that are involved. And then what some parties are doing is called pandering.
All right. I need you to help me on this one, MJ. Good afternoon, Naughty and MJ. If you look at 92 and 26, turn 6 upside down, it becomes a 9. Put 9 in front of the 2, 92, you could figure who will win the election. Now,
what kind of numerology
but
is
how about
that?
this one? Yeah.
Oh, boy. You can't just tell us what all that means.
Good afternoon, Naughty and MJ. If you don't give these people handouts, 80% of those people won't vote for you. They are thingsy. That's where they go wrong.
Tingsy.
Callers will get to you in a second. Naughty and MJ, former PM Perry Christie lost by 4 votes. Remember that when you think your vote is not important.
Everybody.
Correct.
Thank you very much, Texter. Every vote, I think, is important.
Naughty and MJ, good afternoon. Could you explain why people haven't done what I did? I tried Google, and based on a 2009 audit by Tex Turnquest and HAI, it verifies what C. Allen said about the amount of Crown land. How is him telling us correct information make someone not want to vote? Did he also not update us on what the deadline is for registering? What am I missing? Just asking.
Yeah, to that person who said some such comments about this. I mean, you got to focus. You understand? Focus.
Look like
focus
you
on
was
issues.
on 1 or 2, so I wanted to let him go out of the way.
How you focusing on C. Allen's commentary, but you haven't looked at all of the issues facing the country and made your decision. That's where we want your eyes to be.
Naughty and MJ, we have a problem with young fatherless kids and teenagers being lost in translation and full of anger. I think it's because all of these illegals that came here pregnant, and we have thousands, it's causing a problem. Look at the fights over the weekend. By paying them $200 a month, you're encouraging the problem.
Every problem in the country isn't about illegal immigration.
Paying $200 a month to illegal foreign nationals and illegal migrants.
So this is another part of it that I think would help us as a country. Like, you cannot pin everything on illegal immigration, but it doesn't mean that we don't have a problem with the way that we're dealing with migration, illegal immigration in this country. We do have a problem, but not everything is because of illegal immigration.
Good day. I'm a regular listener. Please don't discourage Bahamians to not vote for COI. This country needs change. We are losing this country. Listen, I'm glad you're a regular listener, and you should know we're going to agree to disagree on this one, because just as you say, you want a better Bahamas, I would love a viable third option in a political party, but it has to be a viable third option. I hate to be so brutally honest, but this COI is not the viable third option. Well, it looks like a dog and pony show, if you ask me. And I'm being totally honest with you. And I love my Bahamas enough to know that if we're going to look to embrace a new third party, it has to be so dynamic and so impactful and so impressionable to Bahamians that it will surpass the two-party system that we have been running in for the last 50 years. But you got to give me a viable option. So you can't.
So the thing about the COI in particular, right, as I said before, and caller, the texter, sorry, thank you for listening. We love all heads, whether you're yellow,
and whether
red,
you agree
black
with me or not, it's all good. We're entitled to that, man.
But I must say this. When you have a third party, right, and you're putting out big policy positions, right, and you've identified some real issues, the COI has. They've identified problems we have with illegal hiring, related housing, weak coordination at our borders because our, institutions aren't necessarily speaking to each other in the manner they could. Those are good things. But we would be we would be crazy as citizens if we do not acknowledge that the pathway, the policy that they are proposing, is problematic too. So I want my borders to be more secure. I don't want illegal persons hired and working in this country illegally. I don't want the shanty towns or the unregulated housing. The COI has said the same. We agree on that. But you will not then get me to go along with the means to address these issues is by doing something unconstitutional. The Constitution is tier one, number one, top. And if you start introducing a policy by saying to me, okay, we're going to do some unconstitutional things and then we're going to clean it up after that. How is that making sense to me? And if you feel it's discouraging people from voting for COI, then I would suggest that you look at it another way. It's actually encouraging the COI to get their policy positions correct and to get them to be fully developed. Do you know what their stopping naturalization means? It means that children born to Bahamian women that are married to foreign men abroad cannot become Bahamians. Is that what you want? You want to take a hatchet to something you're supposed to take a scalpel to. You want to make it that a Bahamian woman who may have a child abroad and is married doesn't have a pathway for her child to become a Bahamian citizen because naturalization is off the table. You want it to be that a Bahamian citizen married to a foreign person who may come here and live here for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, has absolutely no path at all to participate in our society, even though they are here and married and making a Bahamian family. Is that what we want? We don't want that. But I'll tell you something. That is an unintended consequence of the way that the COI has laid this naturalization part of their policy out. So yes, if you think that they appeal to you, go for it. But you're not going to get someone like me who agrees with them on some part to blindly say, okay, yeah, go ahead, go against the Constitution. Because at the end of the day, the Constitution is the supreme law. I'm a Bahamian. And I will follow our Constitution. Where it needs to be amended, I will agree to do that as well. I will vote to amend it. But you're not going to start off saying we're going to break the Constitution first and then figure it out after. That is not a policy that Bahamians should be following. And that's why the COI needs to do better with their policies.
And just a little FYI, you're not going to get the $100,000 they promising you. It's just not going to happen. Let's go to the phone lines real quick. Talking Heads.
Hello, good day, Naughty.
Good afternoon.
And good day to Mary Jane.
Hi, good afternoon, caller.
Hello. Yeah, hey, Naughty and Mary Jane. You know what? I got a piece of political satire that is an opera. Can you imagine Bahamian opera? Satire. I'm talking about this political season. I did it. And I'll send it to you. And guess what? It's been tap and scratch, a new genre coming up there. Can you imagine? Carrying on stupid.
I mean, yeah, listen, a lot of material to work with.
To do it. We love creatives.
A lot of material to work with.
Naughty, check it out. And I tell you no lie, right? Let me tell you something. I put up a challenge to anybody in this country, man or woman, right? Who got a voice like mine? Who could cover the whole spectrum of, I'm talking about from 0 to infinity.
You mean to tell me you got that operatic voice like Pavarotti and Placido Domingo?
And Bocelli.
Listen to me.
And Bocelli?
Oh, Lord. He doing anything
call me to Marcus. I could call on that voice. Jesus, you done broke the microphone and the window.
Silly season. I love it.
But that would be a great opera, a satirical opera.
We got some singers around this town. They can do it.
You got some good writers too.
Very creative people in this country.
I mean, I thinking right now, me and Mr. Pintog could probably collaborate and write a decent one.
A Bahamian opera. I'd love that.
I need your input with the opera and to save me from going to jail.
We
but
need
I got
them
a lot
to
of
fix the Performing Arts Center, though, because we need some place to display all of these talents. But I love the idea of an opera.
Let's get the other phone calls in. Talking Heads.
Yeah, Naughty, you might say get Bobo and Togi with that too. But anyhow, the next thing, right? I highly disagree with you with the coalition. But I sure people said the same thing when the half of them broke off from the PLD. I formed the half of them and they said broke off. And I sure they said the same thing when Ting formed his party to make the PLD back in it.
But let me ask you a question, caller. Who you still for in football? As a cowboy, you still call the show, we still get along, correct?
Yeah, but like I said, I just tell you, I disagree with you.
And I strongly disagree with you, but that's still all right. We still cool.
But let it be a third. There is a third party.
And what am I? Let me give you another thing. If we're gonna do an expansion team, right? Wouldn't me and you, if we general managers, want the best young head coach to build that team?
But guess what?
We wouldn't want a head coach with baggage and scandal and all of that, right? We want a head coach that could deliver.
But guess what? If there's so much scandal and stuff, right? Why the money in jail?
Well, I could tell you several other politically affiliated people who should be there that aren't in there, but we ain't gonna go there.
That's what I'm trying to say. Now, how much other people have scandals on them, but yet they're in politics and still the former politics. Don't forget now.
As a matter of fact, none who have scandals on them should be in politics. We've turned a blind eye to all of them. Because you could look at this current administration, you could look at past administrations, and you could look at future potential administrations. And if you got any kind of scandal, if we want transparency and accountability, then we need to be scandal-free going in.
That's what I'm talking about. No, don't forget now, 92 when the FNM won the election, they didn't win that because they won that on the one and off the Hemans, you know. You know that, right?
Where'd they win that off of?
Man, 1622, the informant went to the FBI, the United States.
Since we talking numbers, that 60 grand returned to 90 grand. Lincoln paid that woman no money yet?
But like I say, if it's something real, why they lock him up yet?
Listen, caller. Let me ask you this.
I know a ruling from the court is real.
Do you think that any party out there putting out a policy position should consult the Constitution first? Not put a position out there and then say, okay, we can fix the Constitution later. What do you think?
But guess what? I give it up to being emotional, but guess what? Everyone, you should check the Constitution.
Yeah,
the Constitution governs this land.
That's the number one, exactly. And that's something that no matter which party you pull for, we should all agree. The Constitution is the premier law of the land. And when you come with a policy position, if you come in with something against the Constitution, I write that off right away. Thank you so much. Sure, go ahead.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
Right? Do you think our Constitution needs to be revamped?
If the majority of Bahamian people say that, I know what you're probably leaning towards the citizenship aspect of it, and that is a conversation. Well, that is a conversation that we should have, perhaps, about that part of it. I agree 100%. But as we stand now, we don't start off by saying I could disregard it, and then later on change it.
You know that committing suicide, if you committed suicide and you didn't follow through, it didn't happen, you could go to jail for that.
Yeah, of course, in many places.
How stupid that is. To take that off the books.
In many places.
That's why I said our Constitution need to go in the washing machine and get washed.
There are some things that need to change, but for sure you don't start off by saying, I'm going to be checking for it, and then I can go back and visit it and fix it later.
Remember the Prime Minister would say he could do some stuff.
And you remember what happened to that Prime Minister? You remember what happened to him? And rightfully so. Have a good one, Mr. COI. Have a good one.
Let's get this other call in, and I got to get back to the text lines. Talking Heads.
Talking Heads. Good afternoon, Noddy.
Good afternoon.
And good afternoon, MJ.
Good afternoon.
It is very interesting about what you were discussing. And the interesting thing is, as talk show host, I know it's difficult for you, or both of you, to withhold your opinion. One of the things I would like us to keep in mind is that when you look at the southern side of Haiti, that is occupied by the elite of the elite of the elite. Of course, there are still airlines flying there. There are still Haitians here going about their business. And quite frankly and honestly, we do not give two hoots about Haitians. The thing we must also remember, we cannot label them as just Haitians or Bahamians, but we must be very, very careful in what we do. Because one of the other things I would like to see happen is that someone, I think on your show earlier, had mentioned that there ought to be a brigade consisting of immigration, customs, etc., who will be on the forefront of our country and ensuring that all things are up and running. I thank you very much for the time.
Thank you so much, caller.
All right, Paula, good stuff.
I will say that I think I don't know who said about the brigade, but that is one of the policy
Right.
positions of the COI, which I do not think that they're necessarily wrong with in that respect, because the different branches that help protect our borders should speak more closely. I
But
think
the
that
policy needs to coincide with the Constitution,
full
and the
policy has
Constitution,
to
if it
be
needs to be amended, needs to
constitutional. I mean,
coincide.
the real politics side of it is you don't go out there. You remember a couple of years ago when Donald Trump was running and he said, "Oh, I'm going to do a Muslim ban," and he put it out there, and then he came to office and he tried it, and the court said, "Yeah, no, that,"
That ain't
and
happening.
then he retried, said it wasn't a Muslim ban. They pulled all the speeches where he said, "Nah, you're targeting them. It is a Muslim." I mean, we got to be real about what we expect politicians to do. As far as people not caring for Haitians, I don't think that is true. I think that Bahamians have lived with Haitians for decades, and I think that we see them as a part of helping to build up this country. And I don't think that that's wrong to view them in that way, because they have contributed to us growing as a country. Many of them have become naturalized Bahamians, and they are a part and they contribute to society. I don't think that is what the Bahamian people of today have an issue with. They have an issue with persons newly arrived to our shores quickly being given passports or voters cards. This is the perception, and then made to participate in a process that's so sacrosanct that it is reserved for Bahamians who actually love this country and want to see this country move forward and progress properly, and want to see this country become something even greater than it is right now. So it's not a problem with the Haitian people or necessarily foreigners from different places. It's a problem with persons being brought in, made to participate in our system simply for the fact that you will help contribute to giving power to those persons who brought you in and want that power.
Naughty, good afternoon. I agree with MJ. Let the Constitution guide the law and supersede any other law. I totally agree. On another note, I was on Goodman's Bay Beach this past holiday weekend. The Haitians took over the beach. I'm glad someone posted the video online. It was disturbing.
What happened I haven't seen that video yet. What happened?
A certain segment of Goodman's Bay was occupied by a large crowd of individuals that appeared to be Haitian, but that could be Haitian Bahamian, Bahamians of Haitian origin, and it could be new arrivals.
And this is why. And let me say this, just a quick point too. This is why there in other countries, you look at their laws. There's a process of kind of, we don't want to use the word. So assimilation is not the politically correct term, but let's say a culturalization. That's why that happens. Because you have to socialize people into the society that they're saying they want to be a part of, and they have to have an understanding of how that society functions. When you have a situation where you're bringing in wholesale groups that are very strong in their particular opinions about how things should be, but they're not recognizing the way that Bahamians generally socialize and deal with our society, and they come with different ideas that are kind of diametrically opposed to that, you are going to have a culture clash. You're going to have a culture clash. That's why most countries give it time. They give people time to be a part of the system, to understand, so that when it comes time for you to say, okay, I want to be a part of you. Hey, you know our national anthem. You know the way that we operate. You understand our symbols and so forth and so on. You know what I mean?
Great points. I mean, it's true, and it needs to be part of the process. Real quick, here we go. Hey, Naughty and MJ, remember about 15 years plus ago, an arsonist burned down a customs officer's house in South Beach, past Marshall Road. It was alleged that a person who is running in this election paid someone to burn down that customs officer's house because they disrupted their business.
What?
What kind of business it was?
Who did that?
On Marshall Road 15 years ago. Now you got to call me, go look up.
15 years ago. That's a long time.
That ain't hard to find. We could do
time, but not
that.
so long. Who did that?
Okay, the Constitution allows the Parliament to revoke the right to register on the grounds of national security. They just need to pass the law. The Chief Justice referenced this remedy in the law.
Sure, but it's not going to be blanket, okay? It has to be precision. You cannot just say, oh, this person is this, so therefore you could never be natural. That is going to get challenged in court, and I can tell you right now that is not going to pass the muster. You cannot do it that way.
The PM fed us bad information from the day he said he would not campaign during Lent. That was deliberate deception. Then to announce dissolution over the holiday weekend.
A little tricky, for
Naughty
sure.
and MJ, we do not have to walk softly on anything. Revoke the right to register specifically for Haitian nationals because it is a clear and present national security risk.
Yeah, you can't tell Bahamians to be quiet or be careful about the way they want to see their country move forward. Like, are you crazy?
Callers will get you in a sec. Good afternoon, Naughty and MJ. I'm sick of that caller who's been calling these talk shows now playing like he's so neutral. He just called about alienating the foreign nationals. We can hear he comes from the belly of the PLP, so stop faking, please, and Bahamas for Bahamians first. Good afternoon, Naughty and MJ. I just love the... How do you really feel, Dexter? Good afternoon, Naughty and MJ. I just love the way you, MJ, so eloquently and brilliantly broke down the discussion relating to the voting process. And I'm sure you just love how I read that text so eloquently as well, too, Dexter. I know exactly.
You love all our talking there.
Mary... Listen here, I don't know if you're trying to be funny, but it's Jane, okay, Texter? I'll just say that's a typo. 52 is talented with those with the upholstery too, not just poetry.
No, he's good.
Check him out.
Yeah, he's good. Good. Love 52.
All right, here we go. This is a long one. Great talk, MJ. Let's not change. Stay the same. Never try anything different and expect different. Mark my words. If F&M get in power, now NWO will be implemented. You're saying there's no problem with the ones that come here years ago illegally, but they're the ones who helping the new ones come with papers. Look at the PLP. Sometimes hatred could... Listen, hatred can blind you. So can ignorance and idiotic stances. And if you don't buy into it and you call it for what it is, it often upsets folks who have bought into that idiotic stance. But at the end of the day, if you don't sip the Kool-Aid and you can still see clearly, you call it for what it is. And again, at the end of the day, in my opinion, the COI is not a viable third option, starting with their leader. Their deputy needs to be their leader. They'll get more traction that way. And then they go from there. And furthermore, how much cut skin the F&M took when they was fledgling? Y'all come get this, belt the backside, show us y'all in for this. Go to the woodshed a couple times, take belt the backside, and show us you in it for the long term. That way you'll buy more people over than pie in the sky 100-grand promises.
But again, like I said, some of the policies that the issues they've identified make sense. But is every Bahamian willing to say, okay, no path to naturalization for anybody that isn't born in this country? Is that the road that we want to go down? Because that, to me, is taking a sledgehammer to a problem that requires a scalpel. Like, we need people to be precise, not only in the way that they craft the language to our laws, you have to be on point, but in the way you execute your ideas. And if you have a half-baked ideas, okay, everybody can say we have a problem at the border. We all agree on that. Everyone can say we have a problem with illegal hiring. Everybody could agree on that. But who has the solutions to solve our problems properly? That's the question we should be asking ourselves.
Let's get these calls out of the way and then we'll get to the break. Talking Heads.
Naughty Ranks, what's going on, soldier?
What's going on?
Rachel, big brother. I hope you and MJ had a good Easter.
And we hope you the same as well, man.
You as well.
Session was not.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Naughty, I think that's probably my first time that I'm going to speak to it. It just is what it is at this point. I don't know if you or anybody have noticed the increase. I call it the increase in the amount of people that's been walking around with things on their head, whether it be a bag of cement or fruit basket, whatever it is.
I see where you're going with this, you know.
Oh, okay.
You cold, but you one of the coldest, boy, I tell you.
No, but Naughty, at what point do we become concerned about the reality of what's going on blatantly before our eyes? At what point? And I heard something this morning, and I want you and Naughty to look, me and you and MJ to look into this. There's this thing where they call them domestic, not domestic, tourists, because of the amount of visas that have been issued in that jurisdiction. And a caller said it earlier. They don't be on vacation; they be on staycation because once they come with them visas, they don't go back. And so something is blatantly wrong. And even I've been talking to people in communities and so forth. They're saying, you're on the line trying to register, and you can visibly see these people, and you talking, and some can't. People talking amongst themselves in a different language, and some seemingly can't speak English too good. One person even said there was a person who didn't even know what the national anthem was, and so clearly some concerns. But unless we all as a people get out and vote and make a difference, we can be reaping what we sow.
Good stuff, man.
In terms, but in terms of what MJ was saying of what the solution is, one of my solutions that I've just recently heard, and this didn't come from me, that I heard it, and so I support it. If you are caught here illegally, and this is one of the reasons why a lot of this is carrying on, is because once you have a child born in the Bahamas, whether you're illegal or not, that child has a pathway and to citizenship. And so for a lot of people, I've seen this happen, MJ, at the clinic in Abaco. As far as the parent or guardian is concerned, they're illegal, but as far as they are concerned, my child born Bahamian.
Yeah.
That has to stop.
But the parent should still be
illegally.
Yeah.
Whether if a child is born to you, that child is illegal too. You and that child go back to where you all come from. This whole notion that the child gets to stay and we cannot separate the parents and the family and the this and that. But if you come here illegally, whoever and whatever come with you are illegal also, and thereby have no path to citizenship in our country. We cannot do that in America, and we should not allow people to do it to us here in the Bahamas.
Yeah, no.
Good points. You could come from Singapore.
Right.
If you come here illegally, your child, your cat, your dog, your rat, it's all illegal, and none should have a pathway to citizenship. That's what has helped to get us in the situation that we're in. That people could think that they could come here, have children here, and then they claim this right that, my children and this and that and the next thing. We got to stop that right there.
Good points, man.
The child, as it stands now, and I have a feeling in a few years this will probably be amended, but that the child would have some pathway at 18, right? But
at 18.
I mean, if the Constitution remains the
Without
same.
the red
But
tape
if
and
you're
everything.
here illegally, then you should still be subject to deportation proceedings.
Correct.
You know, like you're not going to be yucking moms out of the hospitals and right away, but you eventually you are going within a reasonable amount of time.
You need to return.
You are going to be returned, and we would think that you would return with your child more than likely because we do not want to separate. And then the child will deal with it at their 18th birthday.
You have to look at it. You know, you do it within all accordance of all any international peace treaties and human rights treaties we've signed on to. And then you have to look at it for what it is. I mean, especially with our neighbors to the south, with that whole passport fraud situation going on, with not only here, but with their fraud in America.
Not just the Haitians, but many persons in the region, right? Their countries and their economies aren't acting the way that they would. We're going to see a problem with Cuba in a minute as well. Right, so we have to be honest with ourselves that there are many people that want to come here and game the system, and so we have to fix it.
Let's get these calls out of the way. We'll get to the break, and then MJ and I'll wrap it up. We'll talk some sports as well too. Talking Heads.
Nobby and MJ, sorry to call back a second time.
Hey,
this conversation. Let me tell you, you're gonna have to have many shows on what you're discussing today. Here's my two very quick points here. First and foremost, I have a pet peeve with all of the constitutional scholars in this country, especially those who can flip the Constitution inside out, upside down, and they have not as yet formed a core where they will get out there, agitate our government to begin teaching our Bahamian students, especially from primary school, what their Constitution is, even though they may not understand at that age fully what the Constitution is stating, but at least they'll have some idea as they're advancing it, what their rights are and what they should be fighting for as far as the country is concerned. The second part is I want Bahamians to stop this notion in thinking that the illegal migrant is not aware of our laws in this country. We seem to be giving them a blight, thinking that they're ignorant to the facts. They all know. Trust me, from the mere fact that they pay money to come here, and they doing it under the radar without going through the proper protocols, they automatically know that they are breaching laws. But yet we tend to want to look at the Bahamian person as if, we are bleeding hearts. We must roll out red carpet, allow them to come in freely and not say anything. We, as Bahamians, aren't concerned about those who came the right way, followed the right path, so on and so forth. They came here on a visa. They will leave at a particular time according to the length of stay that they're here. But we have no true statistics that has come out yet to indicate the persons that come on these flights, if they're here, whether they have left, they come. We have none of this information.
Yeah, we need more data.
We need proper information. Good points, Jeff. I got to get to the other calls. Talking Heads. Talking Heads.
Naughty.
What's happening?
Eric, good day, and Mary Jane.
Hey, good afternoon.
All right, Papa here.
Hey, what's going on,
Hey,
Papa?
Papa.
Huh?
I said, what's going on, Papa?
The word is time out.
Time out.
Yeah, time out for who? Time out. That's the word. Listen. You get me, Naughty?
Time out for who?
Political time out. That's the word. Time out.
When I hear time out, I mean go in the corner, you punish, take a time out, take 5 minutes
I
off.
still love you. But time out.
You trying to put me in a timeout?
Yeah.
No, sir, no. That can't happen. That only one person, two people can put me in a timeout. MJ and Jesus Christ himself. That's it.
The party.
I thought you mean me.
Yeah, time out.
This is a silly season, or this election season, so the word on the road is time out. I still love you.
Right, but you need to take a little break.
Oh, you need a time out.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Time out.
I didn't hear time out. I heard, I still love you, but belt to bungie. That's what I heard.
No, say what? What you say, Naughty?
I heard a little different, tougher love on the road. I heard not, I love you, take a time out. I heard I love you, but belt to bungie.
I said you must have got to tap me that one off there. I lost with that one. But the word is time out. Time out for real, Naughty. All right? Naughty, when we go to Miami and stuff like that, I eat the Haitian food. We do everything. We try to learn the Spanish, what we don't know and stuff.
Yeah.
We see the Spanish people in Florida. I should say it this way, the American people, I guess they're more mature than us. In the Bahamas here, we ain't mature like how we should be. Like when we travel and we go other places and we see how things will be happening. Here in the Bahamas, we get I don't know if you want to say bad way, some of us, a little funny way. We ain't comfortable. We're not comfortable. We don't care who you is. You could have our passport the right way, the wrong way. You can't come on our beaches and make us uncomfortable if it's any truth to what I hear happen over the weekend. What I believe needs to happen is that my Haitian brothers and sisters, and not all, but I guess we get too much of them, they disrespectful to us. You understand? That's our problem with them. We understand around the world, we got to understand people from different places in your country. We got to live together. But some of these Haitian brothers and sisters, they too disrespectful. I don't think it's right for you to come on the beach, on a public beach. I can understand if you rent something or you have a concert or you do it in your own home. And you could play that, what they call it, compound music or whatever the Haitian music is. The Bahamian people ain't comfortable. We done wrong. We don't understand what y'all be saying. We need to learn your language, French and Creole, not just Spanish. Spanish is good, but we need to learn Creole and French and teach our children so we can know what they say. So I can understand Bahamians not feeling comfortable. You come in, hundreds or thousands of y'all on one of our public beach jamming the music, but we can't understand. What you should be doing is jamming some junk and some rake and scrape. Come on, man. Show us that you love the Bahamas. Yeah, we know.
Exactly.
Yeah, we know you love
Embrace
Haiti and
us.
your heritage from Haiti. But I mean, if you love it that much, Haiti
Acknowledge
got a lot
us.
of pretty beaches over there. You all could go on and jam your music on them beaches in Haiti. Don't do that in the Bahamas. You can't offend each other. It's like someone coming on the beach just jamming loud music, saying saying something bad about Jesus, saying this Jesus, saying disrespecting Jesus. You can't do that. You can't offend each other. So even if you all music clean and everything, we won't hear you all jamming some rake and say we don't mind. We can't stop you from coming on the beach, especially if you get our passport. You know what I mean? But if you're coming to there, play English or play rake and scrape or jump in music. And if you feel that strong about Haiti and the Creole music, go over there. They get a lot of pretty beaches over there. Sorry if I offended anyone, but y'all gotta respect us and stop being so disrespectful. And them nice Haitian, them good Haitian, yeah? Y'all need to tell y'all disrespectful Haitian brothers and sisters stop they crap. Keep up the good work, Naughty.
All right,
Have
MJ.
a good one.
All right,
Papa.
All right, Papa. Me and MJ.
Socialization is important. And every serious political
Jesus,
leader
send me
knows
the
it.
video now and the pictures of
All
it
right, we're
going
going to
on
look at
now.
that during the
Oh,
break.
Lord.
We have to take a quick break right here. Texas, I promise you. We will get to many of these texts right after the break. You're listening to Talking Heads on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. Callers, hold the line.
What you see when you look outside your window, brown grass or green grass, picket fence or barbed wire, never ever put them down. You just lift your arms higher, raise them till your arms tired, let them know you there, that you struggle and survive.
Craving something bold, fresh, and unforgettable? Tropical Gyros is your flavor-packed escape, a Carib-Greek fusion born right here in Nassau. From juicy grilled chicken and pork gyros to loaded bowls, fresh salads, wings, and more. There's something for every craving. Find Tropical Gyros at any of their locations JFK Plaza, Rosetta Street, Port Louis, or their franchise spots on Prince Charles Drive, Soldier Road West, Delaport, and Carmichael Road. Tropical Gyros, not just good food, it's an experience.
Put more money back in your pocket with the Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan. Why pay more when you can pay less? Reduce your monthly debt payments down to one low, easy payment. Apply for a Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
It's back, Agri-Expo 2026, presented by the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources, April 10th through 12th at the Gladstone Road Agriculture Center. Agriculture, our heritage, our future, comes alive with the latest farming technologies, exciting cooking demonstrations and competitions, Bahamian farmers and vendors from across the islands, fun for the kids at the Kitty Corner, nightly musical concerts, and free admission for everyone. Bring the whole family and celebrate what feeds our nation. Agri-Expo 2026. Let's get growing.
New roads and airports are connecting our islands. Energy reform is bringing electricity prices down, while young Bahamians are stepping up, gaining new skills for new opportunities. Respect for workers. Support for entrepreneurs. We're modernizing energy and infrastructure across our islands and preparing Bahamians to succeed in a new economy. Transformations this big take time. Let's choose progress. Paid for by the PLP.
KFC got that crispy onions crunch. Take a bite, it's a smile. Sweet onion sauce drip, happy running down my side. Pepper jack cheese, bring a little playful wow. Burrito bun soft like a cloud on this ride. KFC, get chicky with it. Hey. Taste the sweet side of things. Every single bite, so litty. Got my whole crew doing that thing. Crispy onion, sweet onion sauce. Pepper jack cheese, going on.
Introducing the new Sweet Chicky Chicken Sandwich at KFC.
Let's get chicky with it.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Kane is in the building.
Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun up? Just remember when you come up. The show goes on. Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they
We're back at you on the
Tuesday,
April 7th edition of Talking Heads. I ain't gonna lie to you, boy. You ever had gas just run across your belly out of nowhere?
on your side just now.
Yeah,
eh?
but I need some tea. I ain't gonna lie. It's time for the Lipton. No, I'm not gonna do it in the studio if you think it's something else. No, I have my gases under control.
Okay.
All right. Let me get these texts out of the way. Be patient, people, because there's a ton of them, and I'm trying to get them all in for everybody. Okay, that's not Marshall Road, that's Summer Haven, South Beach, and I know the guy at the house who got burned down because we used to work together way back then. So
Sound like an urban legend.
What
eh?
y'all used to do back together? What kind of work y'all used to do?
Who was that? Who did that? It's weird.
Mhm. Boy, let me tell you. All right, here we go. You're all really cold. Okay, here we go. Naughty, is Lincoln Bain coming on your show? That's up to
He has
Lincoln.
been a guest in the past.
He's been a guest in
I'm
the
hoping
past,
he
for
comes
sure.
again before the next election.
Next text. The fact that the COI's leader is a pathological liar should be the first red flag for any potential voter.
Oh, boy.
Lincoln's matter is a civil matter. If he doesn't pay, it will become a criminal matter if he refuses to pay the order of the court.
Yeah, I'm not so much focused on that. I'm
Naughty
more
and
on the
MJ.
policy.
The COI is like the minor league for politicians. 3 courts, including our Privy Council, ruled that Lincoln was non-credible. Is there any higher appeal that can be made? By the way, laws and the Constitution are not the same. Your callers confused the two.
Some politicians confuse the two.
Correct.
In all fairness to the average, Bahamian.
Good day, team. Explain to me how the minister can give citizenship to foreigners after the age of 18 when the Constitution stated differently. Break it down to us.
There's a provision in the Constitution that grants, some powers with the minister. Now, I agree with an earlier caller that says we may need to revisit some aspects, but until then, you don't just disrespect the Constitution.
the PLP, the first 5 months, changed the sovereign wealth funds, and that they has Haiti is their priority, not the Bahamian people. This is treasonous. See again the last caller telling Bahamians to be careful. Haitians are not slaves in the Bahamas.
I wish they had done more with the natural resources. You know, we got a ministry that I thought was going to do more. Anyway, we'll see.
The Chief Justice referenced the remedy in the Constitution specifically when he ruled that it was a right. It can pass the legal test. It's the Constitution, the ability for Parliament to remove or put a moratorium on the right.
That addressed I think it was the child of a Bahamian man, an unmarried Bahamian man. But again, this is what I say, when you put out policies out there that aren't thought through and then you do it backwards, you allow something that can be challenged in the courts to get decided in the courts, then you got to go back door and figure out, okay, how do we now adjust this? Do we need to amend the Constitution? That's why I think it's important for you not to just have good ideas about what we need to do, but also have good ideas about how to execute them properly. Because I'm not saying the judges are trying to make law from the bench, right? But when you do things backwards and they end up in court, what you do get is the judiciary kind of deciding and marking the parameters of what citizenship is. And that's an unintended consequence, but it'll happen if you're sloppy with policy.
Good evening, Naughty. Is MJ an attorney or a physician? She comes off as really intelligent. She should be running in the election. Listen.
I'm a philosopher.
Absolutely brilliant, very intelligent.
No one wants to be
Mensa smart. I haven't won an argument in 24 years. It's all good. And yes, nobody preps like
you
MJ.
know what? Most of our talking heads are philosophers. They have some real principles when it comes to this country, and I'm glad that everyone feels good to, let their opinions just go out there.
Naughty and MJ, I will send tap and scratch opera to you. Are you on WhatsApp? Send it to Mr. Producer. He'll get it to us. I want to hear that opera. He's right. I said the same thing. I was like, why are there so much people walking around with crap on their head now? But you all cool, eh? You all noticed that too, eh? I didn't want to say that. I thought it was just me. Naughty and MJ, after this election, the PM and Fred will be almost 80 years old. Glennis will be 70 plus. How do we call this progress?
Yeah, and I'll just repeat what I said the other day. I do not think that 70s is necessarily too old to lead the country, but personally, I feel like at 80, you should be, winding down, living your golden years, traveling, spending time with the grandkids, that kind of thing. I think that we have many more capable people that are below octogenarian status that can lead the country.
Naughty and MJ, you're taking this personal because of your situation. What is our situation, Texter? But the FNM been in the power before. They have done nothing new or great. No new hospital. Grand Bahama still suffering. BPL fire trucks or anything. People give COI a chance. Okay, again. Okay, you're not. All right, I tried to be cool about this, all right? But listen, it is you mindless, sip the Kool-Aid, text me with this idiot foolishness. COI supporters that can't see sense. That listen, let me put it to you on just like this. Move on the side and shut up. Big boy and big girl having an election. Big people talking right now. Your leader is a farce. Your leader's been proven to be a farce. All right? Your whole party and what you're pitching is a farce. You're not ready. You're not qualified. You are not. I'm not going to give you my vote because you don't deserve it based on lack of qualifications, lack of stick-to-itiveness, and a wishy-washy, for lack of a better word, disingenuous leader who's been caught lying on several occasions. So if you want me to look at better, then give me better. You're not giving me a better option. You're giving me mindless minions regurgitating foolishness like $100,000 pie in the sky garbage. Don't tell me you could be in 100 days and then tell me what's going on. Tell me you have a plan that you can hit the ground running. Spare me the organic Bahamian foolishness. Your COI supporters, 90% of y'all are marginalized. Stick your hand out, want somebody to give you something all your life, and you bought into the $100,000 garbage. It's a lie. And 90% of what your leader says is based on lies and foolishness. You think if $100,000 was viable, I wouldn't be the first one pushing COI? So every viably get $100,000? It's garbage. And we got a country to save, and instead of having garbage, regurgitated, wishy-washy garbage from Lincoln Bain, we need to hear from the two viable parties that will still be here post-election, and they will probably still be here 20 years from now. Can you say the same for the COI?
So here's the thing. If you're being real about it, right, they have to go through years of getting the right set of people with the qualifications that can convince Bahamians that they can lead this country. They are not here right now. They're not there. And that's just being honest with you. The COI will not be the next government after the next election. That is reality. I'm not saying that you don't have to vote for COI if they appeal to you, but I'm saying be honest and be realistic. They will not be the next government after the election. That is a fact. And I don't even have to qualify that. It is a fact. But I will say this. There is something to be said that when you are a fledgling party and you're trying to get your ideas out there, you have to be complete. You don't have the experienced politicians in there. And maybe some of you look at that as a negative. But when you're talking about a country in a world, I want you to listen to me, in a world where the president of the United States is saying tonight we're going to end one particular civilization. We're dealing with real consequences. This is not a time for the Bahamas to be playing around with people who play in leaders. We need serious people, because I will tell you this right now. We are going into serious times. So I have nothing against the COI, but you are a fool if you don't realize that they are just not there yet. That's not to say they will never be there, but they're just not there yet. And we don't have time to be playing around with the future of our country. Do they have some good ideas? Yes. Do they have some problems with the execution? Absolutely. And it's not putting them down to say that they need to get better. That is just the reality. And maybe some Bahamians have had enough of the two parties and they don't want to live in reality anymore. So they're looking for an outlet. But I tell you this, May 12th is going to come and go. The COI will not be the government. And we're going to have to live with whatever decisions Bahamians make between the PLP and the Free National Movement starting on May 12th. Okay? That's reality.
Okay. This is not about Lincoln. He's not the only candidate with vision. I have never been held by the government. I'm a self-made entrepreneur. Good job.
Good stuff.
Serious people don't dance while we go up and... No, but serious people don't try to sell a dog and pony show for a viable political party. See the difference with me and you, Texter? I know that the government works for me. Go ask Perry. Go ask Brad.
Mr. Christie,
go ask
Mr.
Minnis.
Davis,
and if
Mr.
Pintar do
Dr.
fool and get
Minnis.
the next government, see what you don't get if he do fool.
Mr. Pintar.
I am a Bahamian that cares about country. I am an equal opportunity. Call you to task for the foolishness that you do. FNM, PLP, COI, DNA, ABC, LMNOP. All right? That's why. That's the difference between me and you. I call it the way I see it because the government works for me. I don't lotion, pet, and powder.
Let me just say this before we get out of here. Big shout out to our Carifta team. They made us very, very proud on the world stage this past weekend. The track and field team did excellent. The swimmers finished first. So kudos to them. Good stuff. We love you guys. You make your country proud.
And first hour tomorrow, our special guest, Mr. Ellsworth Johnson, the FNM ratified candidate for Yamacraw. Then I need to talk about Mr. Felipe. Mr. Felipe McLean, mi hermanito, tenemos que hablar. Estás haciendo mucho basura en Exuma y nos tenemos que hablar con eso sobre eso, por favor. So I said it in Spanish, so now when I tell you in English, I got to talk to you, Mr. McLean. You got to pump brakes on some of that stuff you're trying to do in Exuma. We got to make sure you don't destroy the other parts of Exuma like you did Cove Key.
I was going to tell you speak English anyway. We got to get out of here.
But that's
Thank you
for
guys
tomorrow.
for listening to Talking Heads on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. The news is up next.
Now it's your turn to cry.